Now I'm going to start it.
Hello everybody and welcome to this FS webinar on Introduction to FS and what to expect for next year. Today with me I have joined with me Miss Rosie, who is the head of FS2, and Miss Megan, the head of FS1, and I forgot to introduce myself. I am Miss Gemma, I am the head of Foundation Stage. We're hoping that this webinar is going to be very informative to you, and I'm going to answer any of your questions and queries that you may have. We will be asking you to type some questions if you have any at the very end of the session. We're hoping we're going to answer all your questions. If not, we will get back to them at the end of the session. Thank you, Marvin. Marvin, can we move the slide on, please? And the next one, please. That's great. Perfect. So in our foundation stage, we have 16 classes in the FS2 and we have 8 classes in FS1. During our blended learning time, we're going to have 9 children per class. So morning drop-off routine. The gates will open at 7 in the morning and the drop-off area will be in the FS playground. Registration period is between 7 and 7:45. Unfortunately, due to the regulations, there are no parents going to be allowed into school, but please do not worry. There's going to be lots of members of the senior leadership team there to help you and to help us take the children into school. Please don't ask if you can come in with your child, because unfortunately the answer is going to be no, but we can assure you that we're going to keep your children safe and they'll be absolutely fine. So I know some of you are worried about dropping your children off, not being able to come in. So we've got some top tips for you. So next slide, please, Marvin. Thank you, Marvin. So prepare your child by showing them the FS induction video that was recently posted on the YouTube. Discuss and role play with your child the drop-off scenario. Make it nice and fun for them. Give your child a welcome present to give to the teacher. Make them excited to go into school. Something like a coloured laminated heart, something that we'll be able to wipe down and disinfect afterwards would be lovely. And also there's a lovely link on this PowerPoint which we will send round to you, and it's called The Kissing Hand. It's a story about a child who's a bit worried about going into school. And finally, please be positive. Children soak up emotions, and if they see you worried and if they see you anxious on the day of drop-off, then it's going to rub off on them. Try to be really excited and happy and all enthusiastic. Even inside you might be a little bit worried. Please try and not show that to the children. Make them enthusiastic and have a big smile on your face, as we will be doing, would be great. Next slide, please, Marvin. Thank you. So we have an option of 5 pickup times. We have got 12:30, 1 p.m, 1:30, 2 p.m, and 2:30. You're going to need to inform your teacher of your specified drop-off time by 10 a.m. via Seesaw every day. The teacher or the TA will escort your child to the FS play area where you will be waiting. Thank you, Marvin. Thank you. So the teacher is going to be waiting outside with your child. Teacher or TA will be waiting outside with your child for around 5 minutes. It's very, very hot outside at the moment, so we don't want the children outside for that long. So please, please, please try to be on time, because after 5 minutes, we will take your child back into the classroom and then you're going to have to wait for the next pickup time. So please try your best to be on time. And now I'm going to hand over to Miss Rosie, who's going to talk a little bit about absences.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name's Miss Rosie and I'm the head of Foundation Stage 2 at Gems Bounder School. So I'm just going to talk you through some information and hopefully answer some questions that you might have. So in regards to absences, we expect the children to attend school every day, whether this is when they're in class with their teacher or whether they're online. And we require the attendance to be 98% and above. If your child is not able to attend school when they're in class or not able to attend the learning online, it's really important that you let your class teacher know as soon as possible. So the teachers take the register at 7:45 every morning, so it's really important that you let them know your child will not be attending that day. Also, children get a lot of school holidays and time off school. They've had lots of time off school, so it's really important that you get them in online or in class as much as possible and plan any events that means they miss school. You don't plan any events, sorry. Thank you, Marvin. Okay, so now to move on to communication between our parents and teachers. This is something that's so vital, particularly at this current time that we're going through. So it's really important that we all work together. Please ensure that throughout the school day, you're available via phone, email, in case the class teacher needs to get hold of you for any reason. It's really important that you're able to answer the phone. If you need to contact your child's class teacher throughout the day, whether it's to say about a change of pickup time or for whatever reason, you're able to do that via email or seesaw, but it's also really important that you contact reception. Our teachers are going to be busy with children, doing lots of teaching and learning throughout the day, so reception will be able to pass on any really urgent messages. Also, if there's any questions or concerns that arise and you would like to discuss these in school, then it's really important that you follow this line of communication. So your first point of contact is always your child's class teacher, sorry. So whether that's via email or seesaw. And then if you need to speak to someone further, then you come to myself or Miss Megan as the head of years, and we will try to discuss your concerns with you. And following on from that, then Miss Gemma would be there to deal with any concerns or issues that arise. And finally, we have our deputy head, Miss Gillian, who is there if you still really need to talk to someone about your concern. Thank you, Marvin. Okay, so each week you will receive a weekly note that will outline the learning your child will be doing during the week. So whether that's when they're in class or at home or blended learning, you will get all that information. We also meet with our parents once a term to discuss how your child is getting on in terms of their learning and development. And we are going to be using an app called Seesaw this year. And this is going to be an amazing way for us to communicate really easily. You'll be able to see the learning your child's doing. You'll be able to send messages really easily to the teacher. And it's just a really easy way to see what's going on at school. And during induction week next week, your child's class teacher is going to arrange a 10-minute parent meeting via Teams, just so you can answer some questions about your child, just so the teacher can get a really clear understanding of your child and how they're going to be when they start with us in FS. Thank you, Marvin. So just some information about uniform. Children should wear their uniform every day. They should wear formal black shoes and navy blue socks when they're in school. We have had parents asking if they need to wear their uniform when they're at home. And this is not compulsory, but we do encourage it just so the children can feel like they're with us at school. We ask for children not to wear pyjamas, just so that they're in actual clothes ready for the school day, like they would be if they were in class with us. We also ask for children when they're in school not to wear jewellery, as they're very active and it just is a health and safety risk when they're running around with other children. Thank you, Marvin. Okay, so here is a list of some of the things your child will need when they come into school with us. So we require them to have a spare set of clothes when they're in school, which can be kept in a bag and is kept in their cupboard in the classroom. Please make sure that this has their names on so it doesn't get lost. And it doesn't have to be school uniform. It can just be any clothes that they can change into if they need. Also, your child is to bring in a water bottle with them, a water bottle that's easy for them to use, and obviously we need them to bring in enough water to last them the full day. So make sure either it's a big water bottle or they have a couple in their bag. They also need to bring in a healthy snack box, and this needs to be finger food for them so they can easily eat it. Their school bag, it needs to be small enough so that they can carry it into school with them. We ask for no trolley bags, as this can be a health and safety risk when they're walking down the corridor with other children. It's really important for children that are in school and also those that are learning at home that they're really responsible for their belongings and that they keep them in the correct place, they tidy them away. So as parents, it'd be really helpful if you make sure that they look after their own things, they pack their own bags, they put their own things away, ready for the next day of learning. If your child is learning with us in school, then the stationery pack that you buy will include pencils, a whiteboard, colour pencils that will all be kept in school for your child when they're learning with us. If you bought a stationery pack and your child is going to be learning from home remotely, then the class teacher will let you know a specific day when you can come in to collect those so your child can use them at home for their learning. And then most importantly, every day your child needs to come in with hand sanitizer and wipes for when they're in the classroom. Thank you, Marvin. Okay, so the last little bit of information from me is just promoting a healthy school. So we teach all our children about the importance of eating a healthy snack, about being healthy. And as you can see here, we've just given you a list of some of the healthy foods that you could bring in, and then also some of the foods to please avoid. It's really important that we promote these healthy choices with our children. And yeah, it's a great learning opportunity. So just have a look at the list of do's and don'ts to send in, please. Thank you, Marvin. Just some final things to remember in regards to food. We are a nut-free and pork-free school here at GFS, so please don't send any of these products in with your child, as some children are allergic to these and it's really important for their safety. Also, as I mentioned before, finger food only. Please ensure that they can eat this with their fingers and they don't need a knife or fork. And if you are picking them up at the later slot of 2:30, it's really, really important that your child has enough food to last them the whole day. So maybe you might want to pack a few snack boxes to keep them full. Thank you very much, Marvin. I'm now going to pass over to Miss Megan, who is our head of FS1.
Hi, everyone. Thank you, Miss Rosie. So I'm Miss Megan, I'm the head of FS1, and I'm just going to carry on following on from what Miss Gemma and Miss Rosie has said already. So toileting. All children must be toilet trained before they commence at GFS, and this has been agreed upon by you when you applied and when you enrolled your child into our FS. This does mean managing all aspects independently, so they need to recognise that they need the toilet, they need to be able to communicate that they need the toilet, they need to go to the toilet by themselves, and they need to be able to clean and pull their clothes up independently, because we're not going to be able to support them with this. And we do not allow diapers or nappies in our school for health and safety reasons. Under the new guidelines, if a child has an accident, we're not going to be able to support them with changing. So if a child has an accident, we will phone you and we'll let you know what's happened, and we will ask you what you want us to do, and we will ask you to come and pick the child up. This is to keep them safe and make sure that they're being as independent as possible. Thank you, Marvin. Next slide, please. So hygiene, all children are going to wash their hands throughout the day, and the teachers and the teaching assistants are going to be there to make sure that the children are washing their hands after each activity. We are also going to support the children to wash their hands thoroughly, and all resources will be disinfected after every use. So whatever the children are using, we will be there to disinfect these, and we will also be disinfecting the whole classroom at the end of each day. Thank you, Marvin. So our curriculum and our priorities, for the first month, this is going to be just to settle the children into school. So we are going to be concentrating on supporting them with their personal, social and emotional development, as well as their communication and language development. We're going to focus on routines, interacting with one another, interacting safely with their friends when they're in class, communicating with their friends, their teachers, and also their listening skills. And these things are really important, and it takes a long time to embed these skills. So that's what we will be focusing on for the first month. Thank you, Marvin. So a lot of questions have been around how we're going to incorporate blended learning in FS, how we're going to incorporate the in-class teaching with e-learning at home. So we've come up with a schedule, and this schedule is going to be what we're going to start off with, and if it needs to be adapted, then we can do that. But at the moment, we're looking at having a morning live activity where we talk about the day of the week, we sing the national anthem, we say good morning to our friends who are in class and also at home. So if the children are in class, they can also, they'll be doing the same things as the children at home, as it will be live streamed. Then a pre-recorded lesson will be uploaded onto Seesaw. This will be at around 8 AM, but it's pre-recorded, so you can access that at any point throughout the day. You don't need, that will not be live, that one will be pre-recorded and you can access that at a time that suits you best. We do recommend that you do watch it in the morning, because there will be live follow-ups with your teacher after this. And in these live follow-ups, we will be asking the children whether they've seen the recorded lesson yet, and what did they think of it, and did they learn anything from it, and we'll ask them questions about it. It's not the end of the world if they haven't seen it before that point, but we do recommend that that lesson is looked at around 8 AM in the morning. So after that, the teacher will be doing live follow-up sessions in small groups. So if you are at home for that day, or if you've opted for 100% e-learning, there will be live follow-up sessions with the class teacher after around 9 AM. Then in the afternoon, there will be a live activity that will be both in class and streamed for the children at home. So this could be, for example, a story. After that story, after that live activity, again, there will be live follow-up sessions in small groups. So your teacher will be phoning you at home in small groups and talking to you about the story, talking to you about that live lesson, and assessing the children through their communication. Then there will be another live session at home time, so we can talk about what we've learned that day, and we can celebrate all of our learning, and then we can think about what we're going to do tomorrow, say goodbye to our friends, and then that will be the end of the sessions. Blended learning is a new learning experience for everyone, so please be mindful that we will be continually adapting this provision to meet the needs of our children. Thank you, Marvin. So here is a picture of a classroom. We've made sure that all the classrooms are set up so that the children will be able to keep a 1.5 metre distance from one another. Children will wash their hands after finishing each activity, which is what I've already mentioned, and all the resources will be disinfected after each use. Each child will be given a pack, and this is their own personal pack, which will have their own personal stationery and things inside, like pencils, whiteboards, paper, etc. So only your child will be able to touch these things, and as well as that, the teacher will be supporting your child with wiping and disinfecting their own things in their own pack. We are also going to be there at all times, making sure that all the children keep a safe distance away from each other. Thank you, Marvin. So birthday celebrations. So parents are always welcome to join in our birthday celebrations. So just let us know when your child's birthday is and a time that you can be available to join in on the live celebration and sing happy birthday to your child with their friends. Thank you, Marvin. And we've got some helpful do's and don'ts to ensure that your child is receiving the best possible help at home. So please do encourage your child to be as independent as possible, especially with things like dressing and undressing, and that includes wearing their shoes and socks as well. So see if they can do that by themselves, and if they can't, see if you can teach them how to put those things on and take them off safely. Do read stories to your child and ask them questions about the books and the things that they've read and the things that they've listened to. Help your child to recognise their name and show them how the first letter is a capital letter and the rest are lowercase. Do encourage your child to listen to what they can hear around the house, and when you're walking out and about, see if they can identify the sounds that they can hear. And do help your child to learn the sounds of the letters. Now, the sounds of the letters are things like A for A and B for B. Please try and refrain from teaching your child only the alphabet and the letter name, so A, B, C, because that doesn't help them with learning how to read and write. And also please try and refrain from teaching your child to write their name or anything else in capital letters, as we then have to reteach them how to teach with the how to write with the first letter capital and the rest of the letters lowercase for their names. Thank you, Marvin. So thank you so much. I'm going to pass you back on to Miss Gemma, who's going to answer any other questions that you have.
Hello everyone again. I hope you found that presentation helpful for you in preparation for the new academic year. It's going to be very different, but we're very excited to welcome all the children back. Now, there's been some questions. We have been typing the answers, but I'll just briefly go over them. You've asked what Seesaw is. Seesaw is our replacement to Class Dojo, and it's going to be our learning platform for the year. We're using it in line with the rest of primary, so if you already have a child in primary, then you'll be familiar with it. You can access it on the laptop, the iPad, or your iPhone. Your teachers will be sending out more details soon this week, so you can get to grips with it if you don't know. Other questions are about dropping children off. Please drop your child off in the FS playground, not outside. The gates will open and then you can come into the FS playground. That's absolutely fine. You just can't come into the school. I think those were all the questions. I'm just going to have a quick look. Oh, the induction video. I've posted the link to the induction video in the chat, so please have a look at that and make sure that you show your children. It's very, very important. And I think, oh, and toileting, expectation 3. Yes, it is an expectation for 3 and 4-year-olds in this school to be able to clean themselves when they go to the toilet. Like Miss Megan said, talks about the toileting issue, especially during this time, because as you know, we have got lots of restrictions. So we won't be able to clean the children themselves. We can't touch the children when they go to the toilet due to COVID regulations. So please make sure that your child is able to practice cleaning themselves. It'll be very, very helpful for us. And I think that's it. If you have any other questions, please feel free to email the class teacher. Like we said earlier, communication is key during this year, more important than ever. So please message your class teacher if you have any other questions. Okay, thank you so much. This is recorded, so we will post it on D6 and probably on the YouTube video on YouTube also. Thank you very much, and we hope it's been very useful for you. Goodbye.